From near-fatal plots to miraculous survivals, these assassination attempts on world leaders reveal the thin line between life and death in politics. Today, we dive into the 10 most infamous failed assassination attempts on world leaders. These are stories of close calls, incredible luck, and the quick actions that prevented tragedies. Adolf Hitler, the dictator who led Nazi Germany, was the target of numerous assassination plots, but none came closer to success than the July 20th plot in 1944. Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg, a decorated German officer, and a group of conspirators within the German military, known as the German Resistance, devised a bold plan to end Hitler's reign. Stauffenberg brought a bomb, hidden in a briefcase, to a meeting at the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's Eastern Front military headquarters. Stauffenberg placed the briefcase under the table near Hitler and excused himself. The bomb exploded, causing chaos, but Hitler survived with only minor injuries. The heavy oak table leg had shielded him from the full force of the blast. This dramatic failure resulted in a brutal crackdown. The Gestapo arrested over 7,000 people, and nearly 5,000 were executed, including Stauffenberg and other high-ranking officials. The July 20th plot remains a powerful symbol of resistance within Nazi Germany and highlights the high stakes and ultimate sacrifices made by those who opposed Hitler from within his own ranks. On March 30th, 1981, President Ronald Reagan was leaving the Washington Hilton Hotel after addressing a labor meeting when John Hinckley Jr., a man obsessed with actress Jodie Foster, opened fire. Hinckley fired 6 shots in quick succession. One of the bullets ricocheted off the presidential limousine and struck Reagan in the chest, puncturing his lung and lodging close to his heart. Reagan, initially unaware of the severity of his injury, was hurried into the limousine by the Secret Service. It was only when he started coughing up blood that he realized he had been shot. Rushed to George Washington University Hospital, Reagan maintained his characteristic humor, joking with his doctors, "Please tell me you're all Republicans." The prompt medical intervention and Reagan's strong physical condition facilitated his recovery. This attempt on Reagan's life led to substantial improvements in Secret Service protocols and highlighted the vulnerability of even the most protected individuals. Reagan's resilience and quick recovery further endeared him to the American public and solidified his legacy. Fidel Castro's survival through over 600 assassination attempts is legendary. Many of these plots were orchestrated by the CIA during the Cold War, reflecting the intense hostility between the United States and Castro's communist regime in Cuba. The assassination attempts ranged from the outlandish, such as exploding cigars and poisoned wetsuits, to more conventional methods like snipers and bombs. One of the most bizarre plots involved a plan to lace Castro's diving suit with a fungus that would cause a debilitating skin disease, as well as planting an explosive conch shell in his favorite diving spots. Despite these relentless efforts, Castro outlived many of his adversaries and continued to rule Cuba with an iron fist until his retirement in 2008. His survival was attributed to his sharp instincts, rigorous security measures, and perhaps a bit of luck. Castro often changed his routines and rarely announced his movements in advance, making it difficult for would-be assassins to predict his whereabouts. His ability to evade assassination became a point of pride for him and a source of embarrassment for his adversaries, particularly the CIA. On May 13, 1981, Pope John Paul II was making his way through St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, greeting the faithful as he often did, when a Turkish gunman, Mehmet Ali Aga, emerged from the crowd and fired 4 shots. The Pope was struck in the abdomen, right arm, and left hand, critically wounding him. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. The world watched in horror, but after a 5-hour operation, the Pope survived. Remarkably, Pope John Paul II later forgave Aga, visiting him in prison in a profound act of compassion and mercy. This assassination attempt led to increased security measures for the Pope and future pontiffs. The image of John Paul II forgiving his would-be assassin remains one of the most powerful symbols of his papacy, embodying his message of forgiveness and reconciliation. The attempt on his life underscored the vulnerabilities faced by even the most protected figures and the lengths to which individuals or groups will go to achieve their aims. French President Charles de Gaulle, a towering figure in French history, survived multiple assassination attempts, the most notable being the Petit Clamart attack in 1962. Disgruntled French military officers, angered by de Gaulle's decision to grant independence to Algeria, ambushed his car in the Paris suburb of Petit Clamart. As de Gaulle's car sped through the ambush site, it was peppered with bullets. Thanks to the president's insistence on traveling in a car with reinforced tires and his driver's evasive maneuvers, de Gaulle and his wife emerged unscathed. The attackers, led by Jean-Marie Bastien-Thierry, were eventually caught and executed. De Gaulle's calm demeanor during and after the attack bolstered his image as a steadfast and unshakable leader. This dramatic escape underscored the high tensions in France during the Algerian War and highlighted de Gaulle's determination to pursue his policies despite fierce opposition. Queen Victoria of England faced numerous assassination attempts throughout her long reign, surviving no less than 7. One of the earliest attempts occurred in 1840 when Edward Oxford fired 2 shots at her carriage. Both shots missed, and Oxford was declared insane and institutionalized. In 1842, John Francis attempted to shoot her twice on successive days. Each attempt failed, and Francis was sentenced to death, later commuted to transportation for life. Despite these threats, Victoria's public appearances continued, demonstrating her unwavering commitment to her duties as a monarch. Her survival through these attempts added to her legend and reinforced the stability of the British monarchy during a period of significant social and political change. Victoria's resilience in the face of repeated attempts on her life helped solidify the public's support for the monarchy during the 19th century, a time when other European monarchies were facing revolutionary upheavals. On January 30, 1835, Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, narrowly escaped assassination when Richard Lawrence attempted to shoot him outside the U.S. Capitol. As Jackson was leaving a congressional funeral, Lawrence approached and fired 2 pistols at him from close range. Miraculously, both pistols misfired. Enraged, Jackson, a former general known for his fiery temper, charged at Lawrence with his cane and subdued him until others intervened. This incident underscored Jackson's robust and confrontational personality and became a part of his larger-than-life legacy. Lawrence, who was declared insane, was institutionalized for the rest of his life. This attempt on Jackson's life highlighted the need for more effective methods of protecting the president, lessons that would be heeded in future administrations. Jackson's survival also reinforced his image as a tough, resilient leader who could not be easily intimidated or defeated. On October 12, 1984, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher narrowly escaped death when the Irish Republican Army, or IRA, bombed the Brighton Hotel, where she was staying during the Conservative Party conference. The bomb, planted in a room directly above Thatcher's suite, exploded in the early hours of the morning, killing 5 people and injuring many others. The explosion caused significant damage to the hotel, and Thatcher narrowly escaped being killed or seriously injured. In the immediate aftermath, Thatcher insisted on delivering her scheduled conference speech, underscoring her resilience and determination. Her defiant appearance at the conference the following morning sent a powerful message that she would not be intimidated by violence. This attempt on her life highlighted the dangers faced by political leaders during the Troubles in Northern Ireland and reinforced Thatcher's image as the Iron Lady. The bombing also led to increased security measures for British politicians and public figures. Before her assassination in 1984, Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi survived an earlier attempt on her life in 1980. A Sikh militant tried to crash a truck loaded with explosives into her convoy. Gandhi escaped unharmed, but this attempt foreshadowed the successful assassination by her own bodyguards 4 years later. These events marked a period of intense political turmoil and violence in India, highlighting the deep divisions within the country and the extreme measures taken by those opposed to Gandhi's policies. The 1980 attempt underscored the persistent threats faced by Indian leaders during a time of significant political and social upheaval. Gandhi's eventual assassination in 1984 by her Sikh bodyguards was a direct response to her decision to order Operation Blue Star, a military action against Sikh militants holed up in the Golden Temple, the holiest site in Sikhism. This event profoundly affected Indian politics and society, leading to widespread anti-Sikh riots and furthering the cycle of violence and retaliation. On July 13, 2024, former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, armed with an AR-15 style rifle, fired 8 rounds from a rooftop approximately 400 feet from the stage. Trump was struck in the upper right ear, causing a superficial injury. However, the attack resulted in the death of an audience member, Corey Comparatore, and critically injured 2 others. The response by the Secret Service, who neutralized Crooks, prevented further casualties. This incident led to increased scrutiny over the security measures in place for political figures and highlighted the growing political polarization in the United States. The attempt on Trump's life underscored the volatile nature of modern American politics and the ever-present dangers faced by public figures.